breaking news. We just found out about everything. So we had to go to the scene of the breaking news, and it happened to be this family, or I believe it was friends. They got into like an altercation, and then some people ended up dying, some people ended up passing away. It was like a big like homicide thing. And then their bodies and everything were just like laid out, and it was just really hard to like be able to do my job and try not to look at the stuff right in front of me, right on the floor.
Yo, this is Juwan, and this is CYON, and this is an outlet for entrepreneurs to tell your story, to get in the know, to relieve your stress, to create your own narrative. Yo, it's Create Your Own Narrative, man. CYON. We're here with another exclusive interview. I got a special guest, Flo. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you for coming on. We got this request from Nigel. She works in the news field. She knows a lot about the film world, photography, meeting a lot of people, and seeing a lot of stories that happen right here in our city. Just give the people a little information about yourself.
So, hey everyone, my name is Flo. I am 26. I work in the news currently. Been there for about 3.5 years now. Before that, just always did video work, photography work, and just what I love to do, and I'm happy I can do it as a profession.
That's love. That's love. And what news station do you work for, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so I currently work at WPBF 25 News, which is the local ABC News.
All right, that's love. And what position do you hold?
So my position is I am a photographer, but that's more of like an industry standard name.
Okay.
So I'm actually a videographer or just a photojournalist.
And if you had to explain that to somebody who wouldn't know what that means, what would you say that you do?
So I go out and I shoot all of this stuff with my camera, whether it's like a normal story about just like the environment or about something that's happening in the city.
Facts.
And then after that, I go back, edit it on my computer. And then after everything's edited, I submit it to the people who's going to be sending it to be on TV, on air.
Okay, perfect. So you're the reason why we be able to get to see everything that we do see.
Yep, everything you see on TV is because I put it there.
There you go. See, now y'all know who did it. Now y'all know who did it. And what do you enjoy most about this position?
I think my favorite part of the job is the fact that you just do different stuff every day.
Okay.
No day is the same. You never do the same thing twice. You never deal with the same people twice,
Facts.
at least in most situations. But yeah, some days I can be doing something really fun, like going to a Miami Heat's game, or other days we could be going to a more serious topic, like someone was injured or someone was hurt.
Yeah.
But the fact that I get to just learn different things all the time, and I get to just see different things, is just probably one of my favorite parts.
And can you say what's one of your favorite stories that you have covered so far?
I would say my favorite story that we did was probably when the Florida Panthers won the NHL game, because that was the first time that in their team's history that they won the NHL championship.
Yeah, that was
so
I know they was excited. They was excited.
Yes, it was very exciting. It was amazing to like be there in person, to be on the ice, to talk to the players, to try not to slip on the ice with a big old camera on me. But it was so cool, it was so much fun, and the energy of all the people, it was just a great time and a great memory for sure.
So was there anything, now speaking on that, because you had to have like, learn all of these things, anything that you learned before working there that helped you now be able to perform your job?
Talking to anybody and everybody really helped me with my job now. Not that I would have known that ahead of time, but just be willing to talk to anyone, being able to communicate, saying yes to everything, because you never know what's going to take you anywhere. So being willing to do that, I think really helped me with my job now, and just being able to randomly talk to like 7-foot NHL players that are scaring me to death because they're just staring down at you, talking to you about whatever it is, and you're trying like not to freak out and remember to ask them the questions. So
yeah, that's love. And my next question is, what is a typical work day for you? If you had to go from the morning when you clock in to the time you clock out, what's a typical work day? So
typical work day, come in, wait for my managers to finish their morning meeting, and the morning meeting is when they decide what's going to be on the news for the day.
Okay.
Even though they decide that in the morning, things always change because it's the news. We could be doing one thing and then breaking news happens. We drop everything we're doing, rushing to the breaking news. So at least for the morning time, wait for the meeting to be over, and then after the meeting, I'm told what it is my assignment is for the day and then who I'm working with for the day.
Okay.
Because at least at my station, the way that I'm a photographer, we work with a reporter. It's a 2-person team.
Okay.
So we work together to put everything together for the news. So I'm told who my reporter is, what's my assignment. We come together, we figure out how we want to put it together. We start calling people to get interviews and stuff. Once we secure the interview, then we go to wherever they are, if possible. If not, then it's just a Zoom interview.
Okay.
Get the interview together, get B-roll for the interview to supplement the package, which is what it's called, or to supplement our video for the day.
Okay.
And then after I have all the stuff that I need, I edit it together, send it off into our little oasis of where the stuff goes for them to actually click on it and put it in the folder that goes for the news.
Okay. And how far have you ever had to travel with the job?
Goodness. Traveling is definitely a huge part of this job, which is not something I fully realized, especially with our station, because our station, I want to say we're market 38 or 39. And when it comes to the market, I believe it's from like 100. It could be further back, just however many like news stations there are.
Okay.
And the higher up your number is in your market is where like not as much news happens. You don't do too much. We're like a small town of nowhere, basically. Yeah. So from there all the way up to market number 1. So and that's where big news, crazy stuff. So we're like 30, 38, 39. Yeah, so as market 39, even though we do local stuff, we go everywhere because anything could happen in South Florida for national news. So I would say the farthest I've traveled is Oklahoma. And that was not for anything like crazy news related. That was more for, there was a conference that was happening, the National Press Photographer Association. Okay. So all the photographers, some reporters, people who work in the news from all over the U.S., we all came together, talked to each other, how can we hone our skills, do better, learn from each other, so that we can make the news as a whole better for everyone to see and everyone to hear.
I love that. And you know, people talk about the news a lot of, say, propaganda, fake news. What do you have to say about that? Because you get to see it head on.
Yeah, the news is not fake news.
Thank you.
I understand why some people would feel that way, or they feel like they're not getting all the information. But no, we are not fake news. We do real work. We listen to like real issues, and we do our best to be able to get all the information out to everyone in a like quick and orderly fashion.
I love that. And what's your least favorite thing, if you don't mind, about what you do?
I would say my least favorite thing of what I do is probably just the fact that sometimes we do things that are a little bit more somber, a little bit sadder, because the news, as we all know, isn't always happy, good stories. So having to hear about like sadder things that happen to people who've passed away, sometimes going to court and having to see the awful people that have done crazy things to other individuals, that's definitely like hard to stomach on a day-to-day basis, because at the end of the day, like, you're still a human too. Even though you work in the news and you hear all this crazy stuff, you do get a little desensitized to it, but you are a person, you are human. So it's hard to always put your own feelings and your own, like, just how you think about the situation to the side to be able to do the job for the day.
I can see that. I can respect that too. And then, is there any story that stuck out to you that you don't mind sharing that was kind of hard to, you know, like stomach or ignore?
I would say, I don't want to get into like too much detail about it, but there's one story where it was breaking news. We just found out about everything. So we had to go to the scene of the breaking news, and it happened to be this family, or I believe it was friends. They got into like an altercation, and then some people ended up dying, some people ended up passing away. It was like a big like homicide thing, and then their bodies and everything were just like laid out, and it was just really hard to like be able to do my job and try not to look at the stuff right in front of me, right on the floor. It was a lot to do. That was hard.
That's why you got a real job. People don't even understand that the stuff that you have to see behind the scenes. So we want to commend you on everything that you're doing and everything that you're doing for the community. Because like you said, it's not fake news, it's real news, and you're being able to put that out to the people. You got to interview Vanilla Ice, I was told.
Yes, yeah, I did.
How was that experience? You know, Ice baby, you feel me? How was that experience?
Yeah, that was really cool. He's such a nice man. He really does a lot for the community, because I believe he lives like right here in South Florida.
Yeah, that's what I was told too.
Yeah, so he loves doing things for the community. He loves giving back. He loves doing everything that he can So he was just a really nice guy. He was really knowledgeable, and he's just a lovable guy. It was great.
And what do you like to do outside of your job, filming, doing all this hard work? What do you like to do for yourself when you kick back?
I would say like I have two sides to it, because like at least for me, I feel like I'm an extroverted introvert. So like I like to like go out, talk to people, do things, but also like stay home and like do nothing. Like I like to read, I like to chill, I like to like watch my Netflix, watch my anime, like just do whatever. But then when I go out to do stuff, I'm like a certified adrenaline junkie. I like to fly off planes if I can, skydiving. I like to free fall. I love to jet ski. I love to parasail. I love to travel. Like
that's two sides for real.
Yeah, that's two sides for real. But it just depends on how I feel when I wake up. If I'm willing to do one or the other. But yeah.
That's a good switch to have.
Thanks.
That is definitely a good switch to have. If it's one thing that you want to get off your bucket list right now, what would it be that you haven't done?
I want to say skydiving, because I've done indoor skydiving, and I had the chance to do just like actual outdoor skydiving, but I didn't get to do it. I don't remember what the reason was, but I didn't get to do it. I'm like,
but you was ready.
Oh, I was so ready. So ready.
You got me beat. I give you that one.
Which, funny enough, even though I love to do all that stuff, you will never catch me on a wooden, what is those, wooden roller coasters?
You're not doing
like
that.
At the state fair. As like if it's wooden, not a chance.
That's not a chance.
Not, because that's going to break. Are you out of your mind? I'm not doing that.
Like the boomers and Boca.
Yeah, never.
Never. That one.
But I'll fall out of a plane. But like that, hard no.
I would do skydiving before I would do bungee jumping. I'll say that.
Really? I don't feel like I've heard too many bad. That's what my siblings say. Like, Flo, you're out of your mind. Like, you want to die. I'm like, people have survived. I will be fine.
I'm doing
We
both.
had a whole episode of King of the Hill where Peggy jumped out of a plane and hit the ground. She was fine. She was still there.
Exactly. I'll be alright. I'll be alright.
Hold on. Did you go to LA?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
How was that experience?
It was really good. I was there for the Miss USA competition.
Okay.
Because my cousin is currently Miss Massachusetts.
Oh, that's
so
lovely.
I was there to be with her family, to be able to support her. And it was just so much fun. It was a great opportunity. It was great, like, it was just a great place. It was very fun.
How was that experience? So, I want to know about the pageant. Like, how was that experience?
It was crazy. I didn't realize that pageants were like because that's like the other side of my family. Like that's like their life, like pageant modeling.
Yeah,
like they do stuff like that. So I didn't know much about that world until like I talked to her a little bit more, and then I went to support her for it. I'm like, oh my goodness, you have like a
whole job.
Thing there. That's a whole job. And she does her own what's it called? Her own like video work, her own like pictures, her own advertisement like for herself to like help promote herself. And through all the work she did, she was able to be on like a whole bunch of commercials. She's a Dunkin' Donuts like sponsor. Like she was able to do amazing stuff.
That's love. See, we maybe need to get her on the podcast too, man. Spread the love.
Yeah, she can come from Massachusetts.
We might have to travel up there, man. We might have to travel up there. So you, like you told me, you got two sides to yourself. You're an introvert, and then you're extrovert.
Yeah.
What's some interesting places that you have traveled so far?
Yeah, so far I definitely do want to travel more, but so far I've been to France, I've been to Belgium, almost went to Amsterdam. It was supposed to be like a 3 thing, but I didn't have enough vacation days for that. So
you had to come back.
France and I had to come back unfortunately, but France and Belgium were my 2 outside. I went to Haiti just because I'm Haitian, so been there plenty of times. Dominican Republic, and I want to say that's it so far.
And what was your experience like in Belgium?
Belgium was really cool. It was a little hard because obviously I did not know the language whatsoever. So trying to like navigate in a place I didn't know the language too much of, but the buildings were beautiful. The Airbnb stayed at were so nice. The food was really good. I did try their beer because everyone says how amazing Belgian beer was.
It was good?
Trash. Do not listen to a word they say. It was fine, but then again, I'm not an alcoholic drinker, so maybe it was me. Yeah. But no, it was really cool. The buildings were really cool, and it was just a great time. Great people. They're
I need to look into that. I need to travel there.
Yeah, no, it's really, and they're so friendly. Everyone was very helpful. They have more of a like a train system.
Okay.
So it's not really much of like driving your own car. Plus, that would be expensive anyway.
Like in New York.
Exactly. So we took the public transportation everywhere, which was also hard because it's not in English. So
you had to figure it out.
Yeah, but it was great. We went the wrong direction for like the first hour, but once we like figured out what we were doing, went the right direction. Everything was great. Good time.
And what about Haiti? Experience in Haiti? 'Cause I got a lot of Haitian friends. Their moms love me. They feed me well. They feed me real well. How was that experience in Haiti?
Yeah, Haiti was great. I love Haiti. The last time I went, I want to say maybe it was 3-4 years ago the last time I went. But I've been a handful of times, a whole bunch of times. But it was a lot of fun, great place. I have a lot of family there. My grandma has a house there, so we always stay with her in Okap. And it was just a good time. The people are so friendly. The people really are nice. They do their best to make everyone like feel welcome, because especially in like the touristy areas, they're like, of course, you're a tourist, you don't know too much. Sometimes you can feel like a little scared or like outside, but they're always so friendly. And especially in the towns where tourists aren't really seen much, they especially like love people there and like, oh my gosh, please come in, like please sit down, what can I feed you? They're always trying to feed you.
That is number one rule. They do feed you well.
One thing Haitians don't do is give you food. That is for sure.
Pans too. And I don't know if I asked this, but what's one place that you must travel?
I don't know. I really want to go to either Tokyo or Korea. I want to travel
that's on my list too,
everywhere. I have there is no place that I don't really want to go to. I just want to see the entire world as it is, because I grew up here in little West Palm Beach, Florida. Haven't seen too much. So yeah, I just want to see what the world is, what it looks like.
We're going to make that happen, man. Maybe we can plan a Tokyo trip.
That'd be fun. I'm always going to travel.
I heard one of my friends went. He said it was amazing. He said it was the most interesting time he ever had. They did a little Tokyo drift car around the city.
Oh, that's
they did a lot of cool stuff. What's something next that you want to do?
I would say I don't have anything like specific that's next for me. I just love to do any type of video work. I love to create, and if I'm able to make videos, create something meaningful, and make enough money to still live a real life outside of work, that's what's next for me.
That's next for you. So. I love that. That's where it's at, man. That's what we all on. I'm on the same path as you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on the same path as you. Anything else you want to let the people know? Anything about the news, about yourself? Anything you want to let them know? The floor is yours.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Or you can ask me a question. I'll give you either one.
Maybe I'll do both.
Okay.
But at least for like letting the people know, I think it's important to like talk to anyone. Go places that you don't think you would have ever been at before, because you never know who you're going to meet, what you're going to find. Say yes to everything. Even if you see people in the news, they seem scary, they seem busy, like just talk to us. We are regular people. We are happy to give out information. We are happy to help where we can. We want to share good things in the world, and we're trying our very best. But the best way to do that is for the people in the public to be able to come and tell us and be able to help us, so that we know and we don't have to do as much digging to help find whatever you're doing that's great out there. So please talk to us. If you see something great, say something great. Yeah, don't be afraid to talk to anyone. I've had to talk to crazy people, FBI directors, the Secret Service agents. I've had to talk to not the president directly, but I've been in rooms with him where he's addressing us and I ask questions. Like, be willing to talk to anyone, do anything. You never know what you're going to hear out of it. Just don't be too scared in life, you know?
Facts. And to piggyback off, you said you have an email where people can share if they have certain stories that they want to put out. Is that?
Oh yeah.
So we could put that in the link so y'all can be able to, if you know something that's coming up that's helping the community, shoot it to them. Yeah, please email our news station if you have anything in the community, anything at all. It could be a small lemonade stand that you guys are doing for your local church or for your family, or a GoFundMe because something's happened in the family. Like, please let us know. The more we know about it, the more we can do our best to put it out in the news, or even just do web articles about it. Like, please talk to us. Talk to us. There we go. And where can they follow you at? You can follow me at Go With The Flow, so GOWITTDAFLO. There we go. It's a great interview. I appreciate all the information you shared. We're going to get on that news one day. She going to interview us too. I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. She'll interview us too, but I appreciate you always. Of course. Thank you for having me. Nothing but blessings on your journey. And we out, man. Bye. TR.